I hope that this is working right because Facebook on laptop is completely different now. Um, but I believe that we are live. So, first, thank you so much, Sarah, for having me on, and I hope that I can bring value to you guys today. Sarah told me that the topic of discussion today is why should my health services be visible? And first, what I do is I help families, businesses, doctors' offices, you name it. I help people, especially health conscious people and people that have health issues, get access to the cleanest water. And why should my health services matter? Why should they be visible? Because the water industry is highly, highly, highly unregulated. And a lot of people think that places like EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, which is a government ran agency, or CDC, which we all know who that is, or WHO, we think that all of these agencies have our back and that are looking out for the best of us and the best for our health. And to be completely honest, that is not the truth, sadly. We are about 90% water molecules. Over 70% of our bodies are water. In fetuses and in children, they are over 90% water. So, when you look at that in a better perspective, like what does your body do that has nothing to do with water? Nothing. Every single function of your body has to do with water. And it is something that's so unregulated that a lot of our issues that are coming up these days in health, whether it's inflammation, whether it's cancer, diabetes, autoimmune, whatever it is, all of these things, a lot of them are coming to your body because of dehydration. And I'm not just throwing this out there, I can cite multiple sources. This book, Your Body's Many Cries for Water, I cannot pronounce his name ever, but it is by a doctor, a medical doctor. He did many, many, many studies on water and how it affects our bodies. There are plenty of other books. You're Not Sick, You're Thirsty. He has multiple volumes of this. And just to read a little excerpt really quick, there was a doctor that actually replied to his studies and read all of his publications, and he said, I had the opportunity of reading some of your publications concerning the significance of adequate hydration and the role of chronic dehydration in the etiology of disease. So, etiology of disease is basically anytime that there is a chronic illness, when you see the word causes, it'll say disease etiology or etiology of disease. It's basically unknown. Um, and that's a problem with Western healthcare, as I'm sure a lot of you can agree. Continuing. While pursuing this material, I carefully examined many of the references that you had cited, especially those in your paper published in Anti Cancer Research and in your subsequent paper in Volume 1 of Science and Medicine Simplified. Every reference I checked was properly used to support your hypothesis that a paradigm shift from solute based to solvent based body metabolism is warranted. That means that water is not just a placeholder in our body. It is exactly what is giving us life. It is the most important solvent in our bodies. It is what regulates all of our body's functions is water. It is the miracle of life, right, guys? So he's trying to basically, with many other doctors, make this paradigm shift from thinking that, oh, body is just something that transports all of our nutrients and transports, our blood and everything else, and not that is actually the thing that is, giving us life. Um, so to continue again, I conclude based upon study of your revolutionary concept that its implementation by healthcare professionals and by the general public is certain to have an enormous positive impact both on well-being and on the healthcare economics. Accordingly, I will do all that I can to publicize the importance of your findings. Barry S. Kendler, PhD, Associate Professor of Biology, Manhattan College, Graduate Nutrition Program, New York Medical College. So these are people that are very highly studied. They know a lot more than me. I'm just the messenger. Um, so that is definitely one of the big reasons that my healthcare product should be visible, because if you change, hi Sarah, I just saw your comment. If you change your water, you can truly, truly, truly change your life. When you change your water, your hormones can become regulated naturally. Your insulin production can become regulated naturally. All of these things, your body is able to be truly hydrated, then it can actually take care of itself the way that it was meant to. Our bodies are the miracle. Our bodies are meant to heal themselves. And if we are dehydrated, which all of the signs of dehydration come before a dry mouth. A lot of the times we think that we're not dehydrated until we have cotton mouth or dry mouth, right? Until we don't have saliva. But because saliva is produced every single time that we go to eat something, then our dry mouth, or that symptom of dehydration is getting pushed to the wayside, and it's not something that's being taken seriously. If we want to truly give our bodies a chance at true health, then we have to pay attention to our water. Going back to the EPA, if you go to ewg.org, then you can actually go on and type in your zip code and see what is in your water. And it states clearly on that site that just because it is listed safe by regulations of the EPA does not mean that it is healthy. And there's actually disclaimers on bottled water, and on if you do any like water quality tests, there's actually disclaimers that they have to put on there that says if you are pregnant, if you have cancer, if you have autoimmune disease, if you are going through chemo, the list goes on. If you are any of these people, then you should talk to your doctor about the type of water that you drink, because those are not safe, healthy waters for you. And it is not just negligent, but it's detrimental to your health. It's actually ruining your health to be drinking these poisonous waters. A lot of bottled waters, not only do they have things like arsenic and all sorts of contaminants, because 40%, over 40% of bottled water is just tap water, guys. Tap water put into plastic. And another thing on top of just the contaminants in the water itself is that there's such thing called microplastics. And these things never disappear, guys. They never disappear. Once they are in our bodies, once they are in our water and we drink them, they get lodged into us and into our organs, and they cannot be removed. It's plastic. It's forever. And you can just Google microplastics. It's that simple. It's amazing how generally uneducated most of us are about water, and there is no one to blame. There's no one to blame, but at some point, we have to take responsibility for our own health. And that's why my health services should be visible, is because it is such an important part of our overall health. And there's something else that the doctor in this book, I don't want to butcher his name, so I'm not even going to try, but I will post the book link in the comments after this video. But he talks about how health systems should be ran. And basically, you should be counting out the simplest things, ruling out the simplest things, I should say, before you get to the more complicated things. In Western medicine, we just use what I call put band-aids on bullet holes. We use medicine and chemicals, toxic chemicals, to cover up symptoms versus getting to the root of the problem, which is, I know why a lot of you guys are in this group, is to have a holistic approach to your health and really solve the root issue here, and not just cover up the symptoms and still be living with the sickness and be managing a disease, right? We want to be able to heal and have a higher quality of life. So the first thing that you can do is literally change your water. There are plenty of options out there that can get you the healthiest, cleanest water there is. that are very, very affordable, way cheaper than bottled water, way cheaper than going down the street to the Whole Foods and filling up your jugs every week, and comparable to tap as far as price. And that's what I do. I work with getting people access in affordable manners to healthier water options. So, a little bit about that is I work with two companies actually. I work with one called Multipure, and that is a filtration company. They are NSF certified, meaning that their products, out of 14,000 filters that were tested, all top five were all from Multipure. All of them were from Multipure. The top five out of 14,000 filters. They are extremely vetted. They go through tons of testing to make sure that they are removing everything they say that they are. And a lot of companies are using NSF certified parts but aren't actually having the whole filter and system itself being tested by NSF, which is the highest standard for testing that we have. So, Multipure is highly tested and it's very, very, very affordable. Like, no credit check, $180 down, and then about $35 to $40 a month for 12 months. Again, no credit check, automatic approvals. That is cheaper than your bottled water, people. That's cheaper than your bottled water. And I guarantee you that you will experience a higher quality of life very, very soon. Like within a few days, I've had people come to me saying that it has completely changed their energy. Their mental fogginess has went away. They're able to sleep better at night. They're cramping less. They're getting taken off of high blood pressure medication. The list goes on, guys. That's how important water is. It's really how important it is. And that's why I'm so passionate about what I do. The other company that I work with is called Enagic. And some of you may have heard of Kangen water before. And now sometimes certain direct sales companies can get bad reputations because of certain distributors. I promise you that I'm not one of those people. Everything that I say is based off of science. Everything that I say is based off of experience of what I've been able to help people with in their lives with this product that has been completely life changing. What makes Enagic water ionizers amazing is that the molecular or active hydrogen. If you go to the Hydrogen Institute, you can see the effects of EWR, which is electrolyzed reduced water. And that is exactly what ionized water is. It has a higher level of hydrogen, which has tons of therapeutic benefits and healing benefits in it. So it is live water. So a lot of the waters that are coming through your pipes, it's dead water. It's not coming from nature. It has pharmaceuticals in it, chemicals, carcinogens, waste. The list goes on of what is in it. And then on top of that, the average piping system is about 45 years old. Where I live in Baltimore, Maryland, my piping systems that goes through the city is 75 to 80 years old, guys. That is disgusting. Think of how old and all of the remnants of contaminants that are in the piping systems in our water, guys. And this is horrible. It's horrible. All of these things are going into our body, and that is what's regulating our systems, is what we're allowing in our bodies, as I'm sure you all know. So, when you have something that is filtering your water and then changing the water to changing the molecular form of the water and bringing it back to life, we are living beings, guys. We need living water. If you were to go out to a stream and collect water, it's more living. I'm not going to say it's all the way because unfortunately, due to pollution, a lot of the water sources are contaminated. I actually have, yeah, only 2.5% of the world's water is considered fresh water. And when you look at how much of our world is water, that's really alarming. We have polluted our environment so badly that we are literally depleting our water source, which is our life. So when you look at the fact that in some untouched places, which there's only a handful, like in Mexico, Venezuela, France, there's a few places where people line up for these streams of water that they consider healing waters. And it's amazing what these waters do for people, healing them of autoimmune diseases, all sorts of stuff. And what this machine with Enagic does is it mimics that natural process of the water flowing through the stream in the figure eight, coming down, collecting all of the minerals from the rocks and the ground and all of that from these untouched lands. But like I said, that's only 2.5% of the world's water. So we don't have access, especially people that live in cities like I do and live in rural areas, they don't have access to that. Even our well water is highly contaminated, and if you have well water, then I'm sure that you are aware of that and you have to get your water tested every year per the government. So yeah, it's pretty alarming, all of the things that we allow in such an important aspect of our health. So I'm going to wrap this up, but thank you so much, Sarah, for allowing me to come on and giving me the opportunity to educate about the most important element on the earth, because it is what creates our life and what keeps us living every day is quality water. So if you guys have any questions, my Instagram is MK Underwood. I can drop it in the comments, and follow my journey. I would love to connect with you all. PM me, DM me, whatever it is. I'm also going to drop the link to the book, Your Body's Many Cries for Water. I highly recommend, if you are going to doctors and they cannot help you, recommend this book to your doctor. Please help me spread this message and help me spread the message of healing. That's what I'm 24 and I've dedicated my life to this because it's so important to me, and I've seen it change so many people's lives in the past 2 years that I've been doing this. So again, Sarah, thank you so much for having me on. I will wrap this up. I'm looking forward to connecting with you guys, and if you have any questions, go ahead, drop them in the comments, PM me, DM me, hit me up, and have a great day. Thank you so much.